The New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of stonewalling the party's efforts to replace 4 of its candidates who voluntarily withdrew from participating in the general poll despite a court order. The party said INEC's disregard to court's mandate was politically motivated and it will not give up until the Electoral Commission complies with the court order. NNPP National Publicity Secretary Dr. Agbo Major, at a press briefing in Abuja, said the names of the replacements were submitted on September the 12th, 2022, after an earlier one on August the 30th, 2022. He listed the affected names as Kano Central Senatorial District, Senator Rufai Hanga replaced Ibrahim Shekarau; Taraba South Senatorial District, Mutala Garba replaced Ibrahim Mikra; Adamu Mohammed replaced Yahaya Gamaje as deputy governorship candidate; and Patiskum Central House of Assembly, Zachary Yao Hassan replaced Mohammed Saidu Meikifi. National Legal Advisor of the NNPP, Robert Horn, now joins us to give us an update on the party's battle with INEC on the replacement of the candidates. Glad to have you on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So can you give us an update on this running battle that you have with INEC? Why is INEC not replacing the candidates despite the court order?
That is a question we are bringing to the fore so that Nigeria and Nigerians will know what is happening. It is very sad that INEC has entrusted with the responsibility of ensuring that the electoral process are done within the ambit of the law is the one that is fronting the law. INEC is a creation of the Constitution. INEC is a creation of the law. INEC has no right whatsoever to disobey court orders made by a competent court, a court of competent jurisdiction. We are saddened, not just because we are receiving the punches from INEC, we are saddened mostly because our democracy, the electoral process, is heading towards the ditch. It's very sad. We had cases with INEC or against INEC. We have won. Very simple and straightforward cases. We expected INEC to obey the court orders. But unfortunately, INEC is defiant. It's not ready to comply with the court order. And to us, is something we cannot tolerate. We cannot accept, as we are corporate citizen, a responsible corporate citizen. We can never accept that, and we cannot tolerate it. And we are urging all Nigerians to rise up to say no. INEC must live by the rule. INEC must comply with the orders of court. Most importantly, we are saying that administrative rascality or recklessness exhibited by INEC is not good for our democracy. It's not good for the electoral process, particularly at this very critical stage that we are in now. Like we said, we are a corporate citizen that is living by the law. We are very peaceful as a party. If you look at the rating of National Peace Commission for this year going forward towards the election, we have never breached one clause of the agreement. One clause of the agreement we have not breached. The court of first instance have said we are working and obeying, complying with all the laws. That is the Federal High Court. INEC disagree with the Federal High Court, went to Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal said no. This party is doing what is permitted by the law, both the Constitution and the Electoral Act, and even your guidelines. So why not allow them to carry out with their responsibilities as enshrined in the Electoral Act and in the Constitution? INEC went on appeal, and the Court of Appeal said, no, INEC, you are wrong. You cannot stop a political party who has complied with all the laws in feeding its candidates. You can't disqualify their candidates. You have no such powers under the Constitution. You have no such powers under the Electoral Act. So where are you coming from? This is administrative rascality. It's reckless, and it must be stopped. INEC is hell-bent, and what is their gross? They are saying that their timetable, guidelines, schedule activities supersede the Electoral Act. That since they released the timetable on the 26th of February, we ought to have complied with it. We didn't do that. And we said, no, we comply with your timetable and guidelines, conducted fresh primary elections, conducted elections. When people withdrew, it is a constitutional right of freedom of association and also to disassociate. If Shekarov, for instance, has decided to disassociate himself with us, from us, you can't tie him down with us. We approach the court. We follow the due process as enunciated in the Electoral Act, which is here, clearly from section 29, subsection 1 to section 31 and 33, we comply strictly. And we conducted fresh primaries. And the candidate emerged from that valid electoral process, a person of Senator Rufai Hanga. And in Taraba South, we did the same thing. In Yobe, the deputy governor withdrew. We can't force him on us. We have to bring in a new governorship candidate. And the court, all the courts of first and second instance, the appellate court, have agreed with us. So we are asking Nigerians, instead of you asking me, I'm asking Nigerians to tell us INEC. I'm telling Nigerians to ask INEC, what is their interest?
All right.
What is our overriding interest?
Okay, all right, Barrister Horn. I'd like to find out from you because, of course, you've actually stated, or your party actually went to court to try to seek interpretation and clarity on sections 29, subsection 1, 31, and also 33 of the Electoral Act. Looking at how things have actually played out in terms of this interpretation and also the judgment that has actually been sought. Some would say that probably INEC has been inundated with several cases and they are probably taking it case by case cases. Or is it a case of INEC just blatantly refusing to heed to the court advice and, more importantly, refusing to probably heed to the interpretation of these sections of the Electoral Act that I've actually read out to you?
Thank you very much. We have no problem with INEC expressing their constitutional right of appeal. But what we're asking is for what purpose? For what purpose? It is not that INEC does not understand the interpretation, or they are not comfortable with the interpretation by the court, concurrently interpreted by the court of first instance and the appellate court. It's not if they are inundated with cases and they are trying to piecemeal, it's a different thing. But they have gone on appeal. As I'm talking to you, INEC serve us with notice of appeal to Supreme Court. So if they are inundated, we understand. But look at the critical stage now, not less than 30 days to the election. INEC is going to Supreme Court, that their INEC timetable and guidelines supersede the Electoral Act and the Constitution. And they are parading senior advocates, leading about 20-something lawyers, 3 senior advocates, leading about over 20-something lawyers. So it's not the inundation of cases that they have. We appreciate that. But they should live by the law. They should live by the law.
Well, just as you headed to court to seek interpretation, I would like to believe that INEC also has the right, to move to the Supreme Court. But anyway, in the event that INEC does not replace these candidates before the elections, what is the next line of action for your party?
Our party, as a law-abiding party, we never do anything unlawful. Our candidates, by the order of the court, are candidates on record. I want to say this, nobody, including INEC, is above the law. Nobody, including INEC, is above the law. And at this sensitive stage that we are in, heading towards election, less than 30 days to the election, it is very dangerous. The behavior and the attitude of INEC portend serious danger to our electoral process and our democracy. And we must say it. If they go to Supreme Court and they fail to publish the names of our candidates, that is administrative recklessness against the orders of the court. As far as the law is concerned, the court has given a judgment. The judgment is valid, is subsisting, it has not been set aside. So if INEC refuses to obey the orders of the court, it's a very serious, potentially a very serious danger that an unbiased umpire is not descending to the arena. INEC is not an aspirant in NNPP. INEC is not even a member of NNPP. So why would they descend into the internal affairs of NNPP when the court have severally said no, the party is following the path of law. They have not deviated from anything outside of the law that created you, both the Constitution and the Electoral Act. So concurrently, why are they so dissatisfied with it? That the Electoral, the Electoral Act is subservient to their guidelines? Is that not laughable? That is all what they are saying. That we cannot bring in new candidate because by their schedule of activities and timetable, the time had elapsed. And the electoral says, no, it's 90 days to the election. You can replace on ground of withdrawal and death. That's the provision of section 31 and 33. And they are giving guidelines on how you can bring it in 40 days from the notice of withdrawal. You notify INEC and conduct fresh primaries and send the names. We send the names. We did all of that in strict compliance with the law. So INEC has no case. INEC is just on the wild goose chase. But why pick on us? Are they doing a hatchet job for somebody else? But why would it be INEC? Like I said, INEC is not a member of NNPP. INEC is not any aspirant on the platform of NNPP. INEC is an unbiased umpire. Descending into the arena, going to court, severally, up to Supreme Court, wasting public funds. It's untenable. It's untenable.
All right, Robert Horn, I want to say thank you very much for your time here on Newsday.